What's going on, guys? It's Inspector Freck here, and today I'm bringing you a domination gameplay on the map Lockdown. And it's Monday, so you know it's Would You Rather Day, which means I'm joined here today by...
It's Danielle, guys.
Alright, and this week we only got one Would You Rather question from my comment section from you guys. And it was from Suicidal Panda 420. And his question was, would you rather forever not be able to touch your significant other, or have your significant other touch you, or have to touch your significant other in intercourse every 30 minutes?
You can go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I would much rather, kind of having, in the beginning of our relationship, kind of really going through that every 30 minutes, having a sex kind of thing. I would much rather, seeing the lack of productivity when we have sex every 30 minutes. I would much rather...
If you say not be able to touch me, I'm going to hit you.
I would much rather not be able to touch you.
Okay, well then I'm
forever.
leaving you then.
Okay.
I will go with having to touch your significant other.
Let me explain first. Just because, like I said, just for the fact that, when we were having sex, every 30 fucking minutes in the beginning of a relationship, it was we got nothing done. Not a damn thing. We were going without food, without showers. We were going without...
Isn't sex usually more important than food and showers
and stuff? No. If I don't eat, I can't have sex.
Are you sure? We did it, for how many umpteen months?
Yeah. Alright. But to me, I'd much rather get more shit accomplished than continually...
Yeah, well, now we have shit to accomplish. Back then, we didn't.
Well, that's not asking back then. It's asking now.
I'd still go with touching you every 30 minutes during intercourse.
You'd still want to have sex with me every 30 minutes.
Yes.
You can't go to work. That means we can't have a job. That means you can't...
We can make porn. It'll work.
I'm not fucking... No.
Yes.
I'm not doing porn.
You guys tell us. Would you like us to make some porn?
No, we're not fucking doing it.
Yes,
we're not doing it.
Yes, we are.
We're not.
We are.
We're not. We're moving on to the next question. All right, next question is, would you rather be a black man in the South during the 1800s or a woman in Afghanistan right now?
I will be... Well, depending, since they're both, property, they're counted as property, I'll be a black man in the South during the 1800s. They had a little bit more freedom than women do now. They were at least allowed to wear what they wanted to wear. Women now aren't allowed to even be in the same room as a male, even their husband, unless they have permission. So I'll be a black man during the 1800s.
I'm going to have to go with the same kind of thing, kind of for the same kind of reason, I guess. I would just much rather be a black male. I mean, not to say that any work nowadays is comparable to slavery work back in the day, but I've had some pretty shitty jobs where I'm laboring constantly, and it's to me, I have a couple of friends. I know a couple of people that are, from, they follow Afghanistan, Afghani traditions, where women, don't show her face or shoes or legs or anything like that. They're pretty much a walking towel with eyes, and they live a shitty life. They really do. And I would really just much rather work my ass off every day on nonstop, and even be be called words that, in my opinion, they don't affect me. I mean, I'm not black, but no word, like I said in another commentary, no words you can say to me can hurt me. But I would much rather be a black man. Okay, in the 1800s, by the way. But anyway, next question. Would you rather evict a poor single mothers down on their luck, or kill puppies? And this is me first. I'm going first on this. I would... This might last the whole video. I would much rather evict poor single women, moms. Just because of the fact that a lot of single... I guess it depends kind of what the mother's single for. If the mom's single because their baby daddy or whatever got killed in Iraq, that's one thing. But if we're talking the typical, the majority of single women, we're talking about teenagers or young 20s who just really wanted a baby because they saw Teen Mom 2 and they saw how fucking awesome it is, or they saw 16 and Pregnant and thought, sweet, I can get on 16 and Pregnant. The typical ones, I want to fucking evict them just for the fact of not being a fucking dickhead, but introducing them to the fucking real world. I know they're probably living through it right now, but you didn't do this because you were ready. You didn't do this because it was a good idea. You did it because you're a And you did it because you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. You did this because, you thought something better could have came out of it than what really did. That's what I'm not saying that nothing comes good out of a 16-year-old mother or a teenage mother. I'm just saying that the majority of teenage mothers nowadays have done it and are continuing to do it for the wrong reason. So fuck them.
I'm going to go with evicting poor single moms down on their luck as well. Because we have friends, what I'm talking about, that just had kids because they wanted to have a second kid. And, they're living off the government, living with somebody. And Chris and I are working our asses off doing what we need to do to support our son. So if you can't do what it takes to support your kids because you wanted those kids, then you should have to suffer. Sorry to make the kids suffer, but you made the choice. Now you got to live with it.
All right, next question. Would you rather spend the rest of your life in prison or spend the rest of your life as a slave? This kind of goes into 2 questions ago. But on the contrary, I would much rather spend the rest of my life in prison. And I'm not going to spend it in, regular prison, getting fucked in the ass by a big black guy. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in solitary confinement. And I know a lot of people say that it does psychological damage to people, but I really don't think it would be that bad. I have gone periods in my high school, time in my teenage years where I didn't talk to even my parents for, a month and a half at a time, just because I don't like, normally I'm a very antisocial person. I don't need nor want to talk to anyone a lot of the time. And to me, being alone, that's my comfort zone. Being alone, not have to talk to anyone, not have to deal with anyone's shit, that's my comfort zone. So I would much rather be in prison and left alone in solitary confinement than be a slave.
Okay, since I've pretty much lived being someone's slave, with my mom. I wasn't talking about you. Calm your shit. With my mom, I practically did everything for her. And when I say everything, I mean cook, clean, get clothes ready, wash her clothes. Yeah, it wasn't fun. So I will choose to live in prison because at least I get fed. I have a place to sleep that's dry, and it's better than being a slave. I would never want to be someone's property or have somebody rely on me besides Joey. So yeah, I'd rather live in prison for the rest of my life.
Okay, and looks like this is going to be our last question. Would you rather, after death, would you rather be forgotten or hatefully remembered? And I'm going to try to cut this short. I'm going to have to go with hatefully remembered, but not because of I'm like Hitler. I killed the Jews. I don't want to be hatefully remembered like that. I want to be hatefully remembered as the person who stood up for all for justice, for all the right things, for these people that are degrading the dead people, for these people, to stood up against these people that are fucking, bullying people, to stand up against these people, to stand up against our shitty government who keeps on fucking taking away our rights, to stand up for all that kind of bad shit. That's the person, who the majority of people nowadays, it seems like about 20, 30 years ago, I would have been memorialized for doing this kind of shit, but nowadays, the people who stand up for what's right get fucking bashed and they get hated for it. So I would much rather be that person. You're going to have to make this one quick, Danielle.
I would rather be the one that's hatefully remembered, like you said, for a reason that's worth being hated for, except like Hitler and stuff, because I wouldn't want to be forgotten. There's my answer. Short and sweet.
Okay. Yeah, if it was like 20, 30 years ago, like I said, where like people like how I am are, aren't hated on, I would probably go with forgotten, just for the fact that it's much easier to, it really doesn't matter once you're dead, and it's much easier just to lay down and be dead and everyone forget your name than constantly being cursed at in vain. But anyway, guys, I end up going like 57-10. Danielle goes 5-19, which ain't bad. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Bye, guys.